I said, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm recording it now. Well, I don't know how much space there is. All right, I'll make you the host again. Okay. Well, now you're the host, so
Okay.
we'll see. If need be, you can, now you know how to make me the host again.
Yeah.
Know how much they allow flipping back and forth, but okay.
I already don't know who this is, but I let
That's
him in.
Yara. I know her.
Okay.
Also known as Sylvia Partridge.
Oh, now I know Sylvia Partridge.
Her Hebrew name is Yara. Okay, I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. How are you, Sylvia?
Oh, doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. We had a scare here. One of my guys was exposed to COVID, so we are on lockdown in our house.
Oh my. Well,
So
hopefully it'll just be
exciting.
2 weeks of lockdown and you'll be done.
Oh, I sure hope so. So I'm glad I got some of my shopping done to cook. So I'm just going to have to, I guess, make do with what I have.
Yeah. Or order delivery or something.
That's true. That's true. I know Hy-Vee is not too far away, so. So yeah. So it's quiet in my house right now. I hope I better knock on my head, knock on wood.
Right.
You know anybody who wants a kitten?
No. Not that I don't like them, I just don't want more work myself.
I'm like right before COVID started, one of my cats had 5 kittens. Oh, sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna have to mute everybody, I think.
Okay.
Hmm?
Wow. Rabbi, where do I mute all?
Oh, mute all. On the bottom it says participants, and you press
Oh, there we
participants.
go. Okay, there I got it.
And then there's an option. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, so if I gotta unmute you.
Okay, good. Yeah.
There.
Oh, you called me 6 minutes ago?
Yeah, I was just trying to make sure we were getting on and I wasn't missing anything.
Oh, okay, good. Put this on do not disturb. So how many inquiries did you get about that the email doesn't have the link? They didn't know to click on the blue words. Did you get a lot of those?
With the last email, none.
Okay,
but
good. Yeah. Yeah, I just got one today, one of those. So. Okay, once again, I'll be back. All right. Well, can I put this on? No,
Yay.
Even with the mask.
Mm-hmm. 130 or so signed up. I don't think they're all going to be here for very long. You know, might be that many for part of Musaf, and then half of them will leave. But we'll see.
How many families do we have?
About 400 or so. Yeah, and most are not coming, which I think makes sense. So a bunch are going to be on here. Hello. Yeah. No, it's you have to click on the blue words. It's a little confusing. On the what? Yeah, well, it's just the first few words are in blue, and that's the link. Yeah, a few people. That way you see. Oh, you don't need it. You're here. Or you mean when you leave, I guess. What does it say? The text of the. Okay, good. Elizabeth, can you enable me to share a screen?
Well, I had clicked on share screen, then what?
No, you don't share screen. You click on the three dots above
Oh, okay.
name again, and maybe it'll allow it in there.
I don't see it in there.
No. Maybe if you go to participants and find my name, and then more.
No.
Okay, well, you just make
I
me the
can
host
make you,
again.
I can make you the host, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really mind being the host for now. I'll switch back if I need. All right, share screen. Okay, this is going to be mincha. And some of you might be using a siddur at home. And the art scroll siddur that we use at shul, it'll be page 232, but I'm sharing a screen for those who might want to follow along here. This doesn't have English, but follow along in your own siddur or what have you. Okay, well, so we have a minyan here in the sanctuary for those who are wondering, and that's what will enable us to say Kaddish and Kedusha, and those of you at home are also participating virtually in your own way. So for those of you here, you're free to leave, well, not gonna hold you hostage anyway, but this portion will be done by 6:15, I think. We're doing mincha-maariv, but to the tune of High Holiday, so it'll be a little closer. I'm not wearing a mask because I'm just so far away from everyone. Anyway, so by 6:15, yeah. Oh, okay, good. Everyone else is wearing a mask and distancing, and by 6:15, everyone here can leave and feel free to log on once you get home. But I'll just be alone here, and Chazzan Shalowitz is in St. Louis now. He'll be leading from home with his two sons, and then he's driving first thing tomorrow morning over here. So it's all kind of a fun mix of virtual and real. Okay, so we'll begin with Ashrei. Once again, if you're using the art scroll siddur at home, it's 232. Ashrei Yoshvei Veisecha Od Yalucha Sela. Ashrei Ham Shkach Alo. Ashrei Ham Shadonai Eloho. Tehillah Adonai daber pi vivarech basar shem kacholi olam va'ed v'anachnu nevarech ya me'ata v'yad olam hallelujah. No half Kaddish. Yiskadal ve'yiskadash shemei rabba v'yalma divrach Yeruseh. V'yamlich malchusei v'chayecha v'chayecha v'chol beis Yisrael v'agalahu v'zman kariv v'imru amen Yehi shmei rabba mivarach Yolam Alome, O Maya Yisparach, Yisabach, Yisbar, Yisamam, Yisasei, Yisadar, Yisalev, Yisalal, Shmei Bekudesha, Erichu Liela, Min Kalbir, Chasavitras, Tush Bechasa, Benechemasa, Amiran ve'eyam avimru amen. Silence. Their own thing.
It's right here.
Okay, we'll continue with the repetition of the Amidah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoseinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov El Agadol Agibor v'hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei HaKol V'zocher ay Chastei Avos U'mevi Goel V'bnei B'neihem Leman Shemo V'yahava Elech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Atah Gibor Li'olam Adonai Mechaye Mesim Atah Rav Lehoshia Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechaye Mesim Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Ayu Mekayem Emunaso Lishenei Afar Michamocha Al Gevuros Umido Melech Memis Umechaye Umatmiach Yeshua V'neman Atalachayos Mesim Baruch Atah Adonai B'chayei HaMesim Nekadesh et Shimcha B'olam Kishem Shemakdishim Oso B'shnei Maram Kakasu V'yad Nevi'echa V'karazel Zeh V'yamar Kadosh 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 Adonai Tzvaos Melech Haaretz Kevodo Limasam Baruch Yomeru Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkamov Direi Kachachak Lemor Yimloch Adonai Li'olam Elohai Tzion L'dor V'ador Hallelujah L'dor V'ador L'giblecha L'netzach Netzach Shasnak Ish V'shechal L'nvilum L'yamush Li'olam V'ed Ki El Melech Gadol V'kadosh Ata Baruch Ata Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh Atah Chanen L'das Molenu Shvino Chanen Me'etzad Ebim L'haskel Baruch Adonai Chonen Adas Hashivenu V'din Osar Secha Karvenu Ken Lor Secha V'achserein V'shur Shalom V'chanecha Baruch Adonai Aratzeh B'Yeshuva Slach Lanu V'chotanu Machalam K'vishanim K'mchavos Leichata Baruch Adonai Anu Rebeli Sloach Re'ein Avyin V'Yurveinu V'leher Lan Shmecha Ki Yol Zakata Baruch Adonai Goel Yisrael Rifeinu Adonai Rifei Hoshienu V'Shek Silseinu Ata Alei Refuah Shlem L'chamakosenu Ki El Melch Rofeinu Eman Rachmanata Baruch Adonai Rofei Chalei Amo Yisrael Barech Aleinu Adonai Lenu Sashan Zos V'Yes Kol Minei Yisrael Sol Tova V'Sein Bracha P'nei Adama Sabein Tevecha Rish Aseni Kashani Tavos Baruch Adonai V'Varech Hashanim Tikab Shofar Gadol Cher Seinu V'Sanes L'Kvetz Blo Seinu V'Kapzeni Achmer Bakum V'Saaret Baruch Adonai V'Kabeis M'Chei Amo Yisrael Hashiv V'Shtenik V'Arishon V'Yotzeni Chlat Kila V'Ser Men Yomanacham Loch Aleinu V'Tadon L'Avad V'Chesed Rachmin Tzacham Mishpat Baruch Adonai Nochletz L'Kal Mishpat V'Lam Ashim Al Tisi Kva V'Chol Shak Rogit Toved V'Chol Yvech America Reis V'Azedim Her Sacher Shaberes Mageres Nachnim V'Rim Rein Baruch Adonai Shaver V'Im Machni Zedim Al Tzadikim Yal Chasidim Alzanim Chal Beis Yisrael V'Chol Sofreim V'Algeret Tzedek V'Leinu Yamurach Mecha Adonai Leinu V'Sein Tzvar Tol L'Chabot V'Im Mishim Chal Be'emes V'Sim Chal Keinu Mehem Lo Lam V'Lo Nivashki B'Chav Atachnu Baruch Adonai Misham Mitachlat Tzadikim L'Yerushalayim Yerka Barachmin Tashu V'Sisham Asach Asher Dibartov Neo Sab Karov Miyani B'Nyan Olam Mechis Adam Meher Sach Atachin Baruch Adonai Onei Yerushalayim Etzem Atavdav T'Chamer Tzatmiach M'Karn Tum Rishua Secha Ki L'Shua Sakim Kol Yom Baruch Adonai Matzmiach Karen Yeshua Shema Koleinu Adonai Eloheinu Chus Rachim Len Kubel Barachim Ratzon Osfiloseinu Yal Shmeit Filsach In Matom Mechanach Mekramot Shvenu Yata Shmeit Filsach Barachim Baruch Adonai Shomea Tefillah Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu B'Amcha Yisrael Sfilasam V'Asher Savol Rebbesecha V'Ishay Yisrael Sfilasam B'Avas Kubel Ratzon Usihil Ratzon
Amidav das Yisrael Amecha v'sechezena Eineinu Teshuva L'Tzion Berachamim Baruch Atah Adonai Amachatir Shkinaso L'Tzion Modim Anachnu L'Ashtaron. Hatov ki lo chalu rachamecha varmachem ki lo samachestecha me'olam kivinu lach v'al kulam yisbarach v'yismaram shim chal malkem t'min olam v'ed v'chol ha'chaim d'chasela v'halu shem chavemes el yeshua sein v'zasein v'sela baruch atah Adonai atov shimcha l'chana el hodos shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim li'olam Yatahu melech Adonai lechol hashalom v'tov v'yeinecha levarech esamcha Yisrael b'chol eis uv'chol shah b'shlomecha baruch atah Adonai ambarech esama Yisrael b'shalom. Okay, here is Avinu Malkeinu, which will only sing the last line, and the Chazzan is also going to sing it later. We can sing it together. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu masim, Aseh imanu. Tzedakah v'chesed, aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed, v'hoshiyeh. And now silently we say Tachanun. In the siddur it's 250. Those who have the Art Scroll siddur, Tachanun. Yiskadal v'yiskada shemei rabba v'yolma divrach Yerusei v'yamlich malchusei v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol beis Yisrael v'agala u'v'zman kari v'yimmeru amen amen yehi shmei rabba mivarach v'yolam alol mei olmaya Yisparach v'yishtabach v'yispar v'yisramam v'yisnaseh v'yisadar v'yisalev v'yisalal shemei dekudesha berichu le'ela min kol birchasa v'shirasa ushbechasa v'nechemasa damiran v'yoma v'imromein Tiskabel tzeloson uvoson dechol beis Yisrael kadam avuon divishmaya V'yimmeru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael aha aha ya 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 aha aha ya 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 ay ya 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 ay ya 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 v'yimru amen. Oh shalom b'yimmeramav yaseh shalom Aleinu, aha, aha, ya, 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 aha, ya, 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 V'yakol Yisrael v'yimru amen. The last line. Oseh shalom b'imramav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru Imru amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu. V'yal kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu. V'yal kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimiru, Amen. Aleinu 258 in the Siddur will be called by mourner's cottage. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol laseis gedula liotzer breshis shelo asanu kidoyei haratzos v'lo samanu k'mishpachos adama shelo sam chalkeinu kahem v'gar aleinu kechol hamonam v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu Nota Shamayim V'Yosei Haaretz, U'Moshav Yikaro B'Shamayim Mimal, U'Shchina Suzo, B'Gav Hei Meromim, Ay, Hu Eloheinu Einot, Emes Malkeinu Efes Ulaso, Kakasu B'Soraso, Yadata Hayam, V'Hashevosa, Elevavecha, ay, ki, ayua Elohim, Bashamayim imal, v'yal haaretz, mitachaseno, okay, nikavelecha Adonai Eloheinu, liros mehei rab ziferet, yafa lehavir gilulim, min haaretz, v'ha'elilim karasi karetzun, V'sakein olam, v'malchus Shaddai, v'chol b'nei basar, yikru v'yachal kol rishei haaretz, yakiru v'yedu, kol yoshvei tevel, v'lecha tichra, kol berech tishava, kol lashon lefanech Adonai Eloheinu, yikru v'yipolu, v'lichvod shemcha yikar yiteinu, v'kablu chulam esol malchusecha, v'simloch aleihem meher li'olam va'ed, ki ha'malchus shelcha hi u'li'om me'at, simloch b'chavod, ha'kasuv v'sorasecha, Adonai imloch li'olam va'ed, v'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, lemelech al kol ha'aretz b'yom ha'hu, yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo. Mourner's Kaddish. Yiskadal v'yiskadash shemei Rabba v'yalma divrach yirusei v'yamlich malchusei v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beis Yisrael v'agalav yizman kariv yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba m'varach le'olam olmei olmaya yisbarach v'yishtabach v'yispa'ar v'yisramam v'yisnasei v'yisadar v'yisalev v'yisalal shmei dekutsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchasa v'shirasa Ushbechasa v'nechemasa, Tamiran v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu, al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'bramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Okay, perfect timing. Cantor Shalowitz just entered the Zoom room. Hold on a minute. So say hello to him, but welcome Chazzan Shalowitz. I'm just going to read the yard sites for tonight, and then we'll continue with Maariv, which you can see here on your screen. And it's also, it is also 256 in the Art Scroll Siddur. So the yard sites for tonight, which is the last day of the year, the 29th of Elul. I'll let more people in here. Okay. Abraham Cohn, Mitchell Feingold, Louis Goodman, Moshe Malinowski, Mary Malotsky, Sam Pomerantz, Ida Schiffman, and Bessie Wolf. May their memory be for blessed. No AC here, so I'm sorry. Although it's here, it's a little hot in here, but hopefully you're. What? Oh, it just got turned on. Okay. Not that any of you necessarily care, but the air conditioning just got turned on over here. So once again, just the basic schedule is we'll daven Maariv, and then the minyan here can clear out, and then I'll hand it over to Scott Masick, who will blow shofar, and then to Chazzan Shalowitz and his sons, Max and Ari, who will lead us in some highlights from the machzor, which some of you have borrowed machzors this past week, but I'll have it on the screen also, just like I'm sharing the screen now. Okay, We can continue with Maariv, page 256. V'hurach u'michaver v'onlish. Ay da 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 ay 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 da 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 ay 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 lie 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 ay da 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 ay da 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 Baruch Hu es Adonai Hambarach Baruch Adonai Hambarach Li'olam Va'ed. Umavir Yom Umevi Laila Umavdil Ben Yom Uvein Laila Adonai Tzvaos Shemo El Chai V'Kayam Tamidim Lo Chaleinu Li'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Amariv Aravim Ki Hem Chayenu V'Yorech Yameinu V'Hem Negeh Yomam V'Layla V'Avaska Al Tasir Mimenu Li'olamim Baruch Ata Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta es Adonai Elohecha b'chol avavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol miodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shifcha v'veshacha u'v'lechtecha b'derech u'v'shachbecha u'v'kumecha u'kishtam lios al yadecha v'hayu totafos bein einecha u'chisavtam al mitzvos beisecha u'visharecha. Adonai Elohechem emes. Umalchuso beratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe uvnei Yisrael lechanu shira b'tzkaraba yamru chulam ichamocha ba'elim Adonai ichamocha nedar b'kodesh Torah sehilos osei fele malchus bara uvonecha kokeyam lifnei Moshe zeli anu v'yamru Adonai imloch v'olam va'ed v'nei ad Adonai es Yaakov ugalo mi'ad chazak mimenu baruch ata Adonai goal Yisrael. Uvoenu l'chaim l'shalom me'atav yad olam baruch ata Adonai shomer amo Yisrael lad yiskadal v'yiskadal shemei rabba v'yamad yivrach Yerusei v'yamlich malchusei b'chayei Uv Yomechon, Uv Chayei Dechol Beis Yisrael, Agala, Uv Yisantari B'Yemiru, Amen, Yeheshmei Rabba Mivarach, Yolam Alol Me'ol Maya Yisbarach, Yishabach, Yisbar, Yishamam, Yisnasei, Yisadar, Yisalev, Yisalal, Shemei de Kudesha, Terichu, Liela, Kinto, Kirkata, Vishirasa, Dush Bechasa, I die. Benechemat, Adamiran v'yalema, Yimeru, Amen. Silence me. Yiskadal v'yiskada shemei rabba, v'yolma divrach Yerusei, v'yamlich malchusei, v'chayechon, u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayedechol beis Yisrael, agala u'vizman kari, v'yimmeru amen, amen, yehesh mei rabba, divarach, v'yolam alol mei olmaya, Yisparach v'yishtabach v'yispar v'yisramam v'yisnasei v'yisadar v'yisalev v'yisalal shemei dekudesha v'richu le'ela min kol birchasa v'shirasa dush bechasa v'nechemasa damiran v'yoma v'imru amen Piska bel tzilosanu v'oson dechol beis Yisrael kadam avuhon divishmaya v'yimmeru amen Yehesh Lamaraba min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yalkol Yisrael v'yimmeru amen. Osa shalom bimromav hu yasa shalom aleinu v'yalkol Yisrael v'yimmeru amen. Okay, continue with aleinu, which we'll say it silently. Page 280 in the Siddur, followed by Mourner's Kaddish. Here it is. Aleinu l'shabeach. B'nei v'hei Adonai l'machal kol haaretz, v'yim Adonai echad u'shemo echad, yiskadal v'yiskada shemei rabba, v'yalma divrach Yerusei v'yamlich malchusei, v'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'v'chayei dechol beis Yisrael, v'agala v'yizman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabban V'varach Le'olam Olmei Olmaya. Yisparach, Yishtabach, Yispar, Yisramam, Yisnaseh, Yisadar, Yisalev, Yisalal, Shmei Dekudsha, Berichu. Ve'ela min kol birchasa v'shirasa, tush b'chasa v'nechem asa, tamiran v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. And with David, page 282, followed by Kaddish. David. Lulei Haman Tileros Ketuv Adonai Be'eretz Chaim Kavel Adonai Chazak V'Yamitzlibecha V'Kavel Adonai Yiskadal V'Yiskadash Shemei Rabbah V'Alma Divrach Yerusei V'Yamlich Malchusei V'Chayechon V'Yomechon V'Chayei Dechol Beis Yisrael V'Agalav Yisman Kariv V'Yimru Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah M'varach Le'olam Olmei Olmaya Yisparach V'Yishtabach V'Yispar V'Yisramam V'Yisnasei V'Yisadar V'Yisalev V'Yisalal Shmei Dekudsha B'Richu Le'ela min kol birchasa v'shirasa, tush b'chasa v'nechem asa, tamiran v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Okay, well, everyone here is welcome to go. Thank you very much for being part of the minyan. Scott is going to stay and blow shofar, and when you get home, you can all log on and continue watching. I'm staying here for another hour and a half or so. Okay, so we'll invite Scott to come and blow shofar, and now I will put on a mask because I'll be standing close to Scott. I've said before in shul, I wear this face shield on the bima, but I wouldn't wear it to the grocery store. It's not as effective as a full one of those surgical masks, but I wear it up here because I'm so far away from everyone anyway. So just a public service announcement. Okay. We'll wait till Scott gets his kittel on, and I want to welcome Cantor Shalowitz, who is with us as well. I want to see, he's here somewhere. Okay. Oh, okay. And his sons. Okay. So we're going to do 30 blasts to the shofar, not all 100. And interestingly enough, it's prohibited to blow the shofar on Erev Rosh Hashana because we distinguish the shofar blowing of the month of Elul is a custom, and shofar blowing on Rosh Hashanah is a mitzvah from the Torah. So tomorrow, which starts tonight, right, when the sun sets in about an hour, it would be prohibited to blow the shofar. So we're blowing the shofar in the last possible moment before the sun sets, and we have to make that distinction between Erev Rosh Hashanah. Now this year, we don't blow shofar anyway in the first day, which is Shabbos. We blow in the second day, and for those not coming inside, we have a 1 p.m. shofar blowing on Sunday in the parking lot outside. But you have to come on time or it'll be over within a few minutes. Okay, well, before we get to blowing the shofar, I'm going to read Psalm 47, which in shul we say 7 times, and I'll only recite once. For the conductor by the sons of Korach, a song, all you nations join hand. Sound the shofar to God with a cry of joy. For Hashem is supreme, awesome, a great king over all the earth. He shall lead nations under us and kingdoms beneath our feet. He will choose our heritage for us, the pride of Jacob that he loves, Selah. God ascends with the blast, Hashem with the sound of the shofar. Make music for God, make music for our king, make music. For God is king of all the earth, make music, O enlightened one. God reigns over the peoples, he sits upon his holy throne. The nobles of the peoples gathered, the nations of the God of Abraham, for the protectors of the earth are gods, he is exceedingly exalted. So we invite Scott to come up to the bima, and you'll stand in front of the computer, and I'll just stand over here. So people can also sort of still hear me. And can you stand right in front of the, yeah, so that you can see yourself in this box.
Okay.
Oh, there you go, there you go.
Right.
Now, Scott has a shofar with a surgical mask over it so that the droplets don't spread. So we're taking every precaution, okay? Now, first set is Tekiah, Shofar, and Trua, then Tekiah, which I will call out. Tekiah, Shofar, and Trua. Tekiah, Shivarim Trua. Tekiah. Tekiah. Shivarim Trua. Tekiah. And the short prayer, may it be your will that the Tekiah Shivarim Trua, Tekiah black, that we found be embroidered in the heavenly curtain by the appointed angel. Just as you accepted your prayers through Elijah, who is remembered for good, and Yeshua the Kohen Gadol, minister of the inner chamber, and the ministering angel, may you be filled with mercy upon us. Blessed are you, Master of mercies. Now the next set, Tekiah. Shivarim. Tekiah. Tekiah. Shivarim. Tekiah. Tekiah. Shivarim. Tekiah. Okay, may it be your will that from the Tekiah, Shivarim, Tekiah blasts that we sound, you fashion a crown of them, that it may ascend and sit upon the head of the God of legions. And may he do with us a sign for the good, and may you be filled with mercy upon us. Blessed are you, Master of mercies. And the final set, Tekiah. Teruah. Tekiah. Tekiah. Teruah. Tekiah. Tekiah. And that's just a warm up for him. Were you all able to hear that? Okay. It's all okay. Good. It's all very new. Thank you so much, Scott. Beautiful. That's a preview of things to come. Okay. And so now it's just me in the sanctuary. Hold on. Let me let someone else in. But I would like to invite Chazzan Shalowitz. So let me find him first and unmute him. Oh. Assuming he's here. Hold on. Give me a moment. Oh, Beit Shira, right. So beitshira@yahoo.com, I have asked you to unmute. Right.
There we go.
Okay, there you are.
Hi, everybody.
Chazzan, first time I'm seeing you is on this screen. We've spoken a lot on the phone,
Right.
and I have to say it was Mina Shamayim, it was Bashert that Chazzan Shalowitz came to us. It was a game of musical chairs. We had a cantor from New Jersey who had to back out because he couldn't come because of COVID. And here's Chazzan Shalowitz a few hours away in St. Louis, a wonderful Chazzan, a wonderful person. I really look forward to meeting you in person. And he is performing tonight with his sons, Max and Ari, who are age 9 and 7. Is that right?
That's right. This is the 9-year-old.
Hi, Max. Nice to meet you all.
Future cantors in the making, children's choir. So let me share a screen with all the prayers that the Chazzan wanted to lead us in. Give me a moment. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. This is our Zoom High Holiday service, and the first led by Cantor Howard Shalowitz with Max and Ari Shalowitz, and I just told the Chazzan that I have my own Ari as well, the Jewish name, and they will first be singing Sadi Katamar along with Max. As you can see on the screen, Sadi Katamar Ifra.
Sadi Katamar Ibra Keres Bavano Yiska Shituli Biveit Adonai Bechazrot Eloheinu Yavrichu Oyinu v'shenim v'rananim le'adi ki ashar Adonai surim below avlata bo.
That was beautiful and inspiring. Thank you so much,
Thank
Max.
you,
That
thank
was just delightful. Now, before we go on to our next piece, I want to invite Michael Sokol to make an announcement about Grand Givers. So I will wait, where is Michael? Let's see. Michael, unmute. Okay.
Sadikatahama. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong advertisement. I apologize. Welcome, everybody. On behalf of the Grand Givers Committee, I want to say Lashana Tova Tikatevu, and especially Umituka to everyone who is listening and participating in tonight's experience. I want to thank the clergy, especially Rabbi Bruscott and all the efforts of Elizabeth Peden to make tonight happen. My assignment tonight is to share with you what we have for Grand Givers this year. Obviously, this year has created constraints for us, but has forced us to be more creative. So what we are trying to create is an event on October 18th, which is Sunday, at 6 p.m. in the parking lot of KI. We want to fill the parking lot with cars, and we are going to try to create a live event with entertainment beamed from New York for everybody's enjoyment. It should be over an hour musical program. A small portion of it will be pre-recorded, but the majority of it will be live. We are hoping to fill the parking lot. We want to provide everybody with a kosher barbecue boxed meal. We are also expanding what we normally do. You know, normally we have 3 or 4 raffles. What we are hoping to do that evening is to have a not only a raffle, but we also want to have a auction, a live auction for everybody. Now we're hoping it'll be decent weather, so we invite people to bring their chairs and to sit, if they want, outside their car and enjoy the entertainment. A lot of effort has gone into this, what we have so far. We have some interesting things that we're going to be auctioning off, and we think that'll be great fun. Sherry, you want to add anything?
Hi everybody. Can't wait for this.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Just a reminder, tickets will be our usual, either 200 for a pair or 400 for a pair, and the 400 for a pair, our gold tickets, will have an opportunity for some additional raffle that the $200 per pair will not have. So keep that in mind.
Okay. Yashikov, Michael, thank you, Michael and Sherry, so much for putting work into Grand Givers, which this year, of course, like everything, is very different and very difficult. So thank you in advance. I will unmute again Chazzan Shalowitz, who will lead us in the next prayer, which is Avinu Malkeinu, which you see on your screen.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu, Kien Banu Maasim, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, V'hoshienu, Avinu Malkeinu, Vaneinu Vaneinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Vaneinu Vaneinu, Kien Banu Maasim.
Yashikov, our Father, our King, favor us and answer us, for we have no accomplishments. Deal with us charitably and kindly and deliver us. Chazzan, if I could ask you to just stand a little closer to the computer, coming off a little distant. Yeah, it's about as close as I am, I guess. I'm sorry, these Zoom technicalities are difficult. Okay, we're going to go to the next piece, which is Vayechi B'Shurun Melech Elyon. If you do have an Art Scroll Sitter at home, it's page 478. The way to sing along to these Zoom services, I've heard it described as sing along to the radio. What that means is you're on mute. We can't all hear you singing, but you can hear yourself. So have fun on the screen. We'll only hear the Chazan, and please feel free to sing along. Okay.
Eldar bamaram, adir bamaram, omet yada, omet yada, omet yada torom. La ade adim lo, la ade adim lo, la ade adim lo, melech elyon. Gibor lehakim gozer, mekim gole amukim, gole amukim. La de yadim la, la de yadim la, la de yadim la, melech elyon.
And as we skip down a little bit towards the end of this beautiful piece, we say, but we compare to the earthly king, the wretched mortal king. He decays and descends to the grave, into the lower world, and beneath he toils without satisfaction. How long will he reign, the wretched king? Sleep overtakes him, deep slumber overcomes him. He is crushed with desolation. How long will he reign? But the Most High King, his power is forever. His glory is forever. His praise endures forever. Forever he will reign, la'adei ad yimloch.
Aval melech elyon, tako lo'ad, tifarto adeyad, tehilaso, omedet lo'ad, la'adei ad yimloch.
Sure. The highlight of the High Holiday Liturgy for many is the moving piece Unasana Tokef. Let us describe the great holiness of this day, or in our case, it's tomorrow, right? We're kind of preparing ourselves spiritually, but there's something, I think, moving and fitting about doing a service a little bit early so that you enter the actual holiday already having spiritually processed a little bit. So, Unasanak Tokef Kedushas Hayom, let us describe the holiness of this day, which we have in mind actually refers to the day that begins tomorrow night.
Unesane Tokef Kedushas Hayom, Ki hu no Rabbi Sinosei Malchusecha Bikom Bechesed Yisecha B'Seishev Olav Be'emes Emes Kiatahu Dayan, Emes, Kiatahu Dayan, Dayan Umochiach, V'yodea Vo'ei, V'yodea Vo'ei, V'chosei, 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 v'sofer umoneh, v'sizkor kol nishkachos, v'siftach es-sefer hazichronos, u'melav yikoreh. ומאליו יקרא וחסם יד וחסם יד כל אדם כל אדם בו ובשופר גדול ייתקע וכל דממה יישמע ומלאכים יחפשון וכילרודו יחפשון ויאמרו הנה יום הדין לפקוד על צבא מרם בדין לפקוד על צבא מרם בדין כי לא יזכו בעיניך בדין וכל בוי עולם יעברו לפניך וכל בוי עולם וכל בוי עולם יעברון לפניך כי בני מרו כי בני מרו כי בני moron kvakoras roe edro mavirtsono tachashito kvakoras roe edro mavirtsono tachashito kein tavir v'sispor v'simne v'sivkod nefesh kol choy v'sachov kitzva l'chol bir Yosefa v'sitov eskizare dinam.
On Rosh Hashana, their decree is inscribed, and on Yom Kippur it is sealed, how many will pass away and how many will be created, who will live and who will die, who will come to his timely end, who to an untimely end, who will perish by fire and who by water, who by the sword and who by beast, who by hunger and who by thirst, who by earthquake and who by plague, who by strangling and who by stoning, who will be at rest and who will wander about, who will have serenity, who will be confused, who will be tranquil, who will be tormented, who will become pure and who will become wealthy, who will be brought to a low state and who will be uplifted. And the refrain in Hebrew, Rosh Hashana yikaseh.
Of Yom Tzom Kippur Yechasemun Rosh Hashana yikaseh. Of Yom Tzom Kippur Yechasemun Kama yavrun v'chama yibareyun michye BEFORE Rosh Hashana yikasevun, Yom Tzom Kippur yechasevun. BEROSH HASHANA yikasevun, Yom Tzom Kippur yechasevun. Mi varav, umi vatzama, mi varash, umi vamagefa, mi vachanika, umi vasekila. BEROSH HASHANA yikasevun, Yom Tzom Kippur yechasevun. Mi yanuach, umi yanuach, mi yishaket, umi yitorev, mi yishalev, mi yisyaser, mi yoni, umi yasher, mi shafel, umi yaru.
Uteshuva, utefila.
Usefila, utsedaka, ma'abirin, et roa hagezera.
Uteshuva, utefila, utsedaka, ma'avirin esro hagazera, but repentance, prayer, and charity will remove the evil decree. And we can continue with the prayer of Aseh Leman Shemecha. Before I forget, one more announcement. People can buy Grand Givers tickets and watch live from home, have meals delivered and chances at prizes. All of that can be done at home. I wanted to make that announcement as we continue with Aseh Leman Shemecha.
Aseh Leman Shemecha B'kadesh es Shimcha al Makdishei Shemecha. Aseh Leman Shemecha B'kadesh es Shimcha al Makdishei Shemecha. Babur, Devoshimcha, Hanarat Venitas Kisotziach, Sarpei Kodesh, Hamakdishim, Shimcha Bakodesh, Darei Mala, Im Darei Mata.
Act for the sake of your name and sanctify your name through those who hallow your name for the sake of your glorious name, which is reverenced and sanctified with the mystic speech of the holy seraphim who sanctify your name in the sanctuary. Those who dwell on high unite with those who dwell on earth to proclaim the threefold sanctification in your sanctuary. That is the introduction to Kedusha, but a piece into and of itself. We will continue with the Chol Ma'aminim. Chazzan Shalowitz will chant the first three and the last three stitches. The Chol Ma'aminim is on page 490 if you happen to be following in the art scroll Machzer, page 490.
Ha'ochev biyad midas mishpat b'chol ma'aminim shehu el emunah ha'bocheinu vodek im zeni saros b'chol ma'aminim shehu bochem klayos ha'goel mimades u'chodem ishachas b'chol ma'aminim shehu goel chazak Adam yechidi levoy olam b'chol ma'aminim shehu dayan emes.
Okay, we all believe, and as we skip towards the last three stanzas, but I'll just read in English the last one, and all believe that he is a just judge who is perfect and completely just with those who are perfect with him, and all believe that he is perfect in all of his work. And the Chazzan once again sing the last three parts.
B'chol ma'aminim shehu הפרצוס, השווה ומשווה, קטון וגדול, וכל מאמינים שהוא שופט צדק, התם ומטעמים, אם תמימים, וכל מאמינים שהוא תמים הלא, שהוא תמים הלא.
Okay, we will skip to the next tefillah, the Karev Pizurenu. See, in the English, it means bring near our scattered people from among the nations, gather our dispersed from the ends of the earth. The implication to bring us back to the land of Israel with the coming of the Mashiach, the Messiah. For this, page 498 in the Art Scroll Mopser.
Vino Malkeinu, Galei Kivod, Galei Kivod, Galei Kivod, Kivod Malchus Koleinu, Oy Meira, Vehofa Vehi Nasei, Oleinu, Leinei, Kol Chai, V'Karei Tezureinu, Mi Bein Hagoyim, Uneputzaseinu Kanes, Miyakisei Aretz, V'Karei Tezureinu, Mi Bein Hagoyim, Uneputzaseinu Kanes, Miyakisei Aretz.
Okay, and we'll continue with the Areshes Sifasenu. This is what we say in shul after blowing shofar, and for each of the sections. May the utterance of our lips be pleasing unto you, Almighty, Most High and Uplifted, who understands and gives ear, who perceives and listens to the sound of our shofar blast, and accept with compassion and desire our acknowledgement of your sovereignty. So for this, we have a special treat. Chazzan will be singing along with his two sons, Max and Ari, who are age 9 and 7. Now, we put out the rules that no one can come to shul in person with any kids below the age of 12. And the idea of that was that kids below the age of 12 can't socially distance. But we made only 2 exceptions. Max and Ari will be welcome. The only little kids who will be allowed in shul. The Chazzan's kids get special treatment because they're earning their weight and contributing to the davening themselves. We don't have our usual choir this year, but the tradition at KI for years and decades to have a choir will not be broken because we have these 2 boys who will be our choir. So that's nice to know. And look how cute they are. So we'll continue with Aresh at page 510 in the Mopser.
Areshes Sifasenu Yerav Lefanecha El Ram Benisa. Areshes Sifasenu Yerav Lefanecha El Ram Benisa. Maybe Numazin Mami Tumashi Lekol Tekia Senu Uskabel Berachamim Rachamim Uratso Seder Seder Malchuyam Seder.
Wow, beautiful. Chips off the old block, I would say. Whoa, hold on a moment. Okay, so we're going to continue now. Let's see what we have next. Well, I had Zacharti Lach, which is not on here, but if you're following in the Mopser, it's page 512, and the Chazzan will do this with Max. Zacharti Lach Chesed Nu Rayach. This one we could just listen to.
Okay, so one word.
Next. V'al yedei avodecha nevim kosuv leimor halo v'karasa v'yaznei Yerushalayim Lemor. Ko Lefech Acharai Bamidbar Be'eret Lo Zerua V'nemar V'zacharti ani esprisi Yosef B'mein Yurayi Le'akim Osilo B'risolam V'nemar V'nemar
Amen. Hakirli Ephraim. Yellen Shashulim.
Kimide dobri bo zochor eskerenu al kein homu me'aylo rachem Arachameinu Neum Adonai.
Asher Koach, beautiful. Thanks so much. Really looking forward to seeing that in person. And now we do have this on the screen here. Hayom Tam Tzenu. This day may you strengthen us. This day may you bless us. This day may you make us prominent. This day may you seek our good. This day renew for us a good year. This day listen to our supplications. This day accept with compassion and favor all our prayers. This day support us with your right hand of righteousness. Amen. Hayom Tam Tzenu. Page
Choir
532.
just went on a union break. They'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Here they are. Okay.
1 second.
Okay. Hayom, hayom.
Hayom, 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 hayom. Hayom, 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 hayom.
Hayom tiyam seinu.
Amen. Hayom, hayom. Hayom, 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 hayom. Hayom, hayom. Hayom, 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 hayom.
Hayom tivarcheinu.
Amen. Hayom, hayom. Hayom, 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 hayom. Hayom, hayom. Hayom, 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 hayom.
Hayom tigadleinu.
Amen. Hayom, hayom. Hayom, 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 hayom. Hayom, hayom. Hayom, 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 hayom.
Hayom tidrasheinu litova.
Amen. Hayom, hayom. Hayom, 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 hayom. Hayom, hayom. Hayom, 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 hayom.
Hayom tishma shavaseinu.
Amen.
Yom.
Hayom, 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 hayom. Hayom, 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 hayom.
Hayom tikabel berachamim uvratzon es tvilaseinu.
Amen.
Hayom, hayom. Hayom, hayom. Hayom, hayom.
Hayom, 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 hayom.
Hayom tismecheinu b'min tzidkecha. Amen.
Asher Koach. Beautiful, beautiful, and they're not done yet. We have another two pieces. First, the prayer for the state of Israel, and then Adon Olam. So I'm going to share that. Hold on, I see. Yes, Deb Goodbinder wrote, so cute, and I wholeheartedly agree. let's see. Okay, I'm going to share the prayer for the state of Israel on the screen. Give me a moment. These are things that rabbis never had to do before in shul, share a screen. Okay, here is the prayer for the state of Israel. Now, first I'm going to, hold on. So Ari Shalowitz is going to lead us in this. First, I'm going to say the prayer for the United States. We can't shortchange America. He who grants salvation to kings and dominion to rulers, whose kingdom is a kingdom spanning all eternity, who released his servant David from the evil sword, who places a road in the sea and a path in the mighty waters. May he bless the government of this land and all of its officers. The king who reigns over kings, in his mercy may he sustain them and protect them. From every trouble, woe, and worry, may he rescue them and put into their hearts and their hearts of their counselors, who compassion to do good with us and Israel our brethren. In their days and in our days, may Judah be saved and Israel dwell securely. May a Redeemer come to Zion. So may this be his will, and let us say Amen. And the prayer for Israel you can see here. This is the Hebrew and this is the English on top if you want to follow there. So we invite Ari to lead us in the prayer for Israel.
Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go Alo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go Alo. Barech, Barech, and Medinat Yisrael, Bereshis Michad Yulatenu, Again Allah, Befras Chastecha, Ufros Aleha, Sukkot Shilomecha. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go Alo. V'saknein Beitzah Torah milfanecha. V'saknein Beitzah Torah milfanecha. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go Alo.
Really beautiful. Thank you so much, Ari. That was very special. And I'm biased. I always think my Ari is the cutest kid there is, but now he's got competition. So, well, maybe we'll see. We'll have to take a poll of the shul. Okay. Now, any good service concludes with Adon Olam. So, wait, just give me a moment, and I'll click on Adon Olam, which is right here in transliteration, and there is Adon Olam.
I always take requests. Which one would you like?
Whichever one you're moved to do.
Let's see. Which one do you want to do?
What?
How
You know
about
what you want? What?
Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Adon Olam, Li'et Nasa, V'chetzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'yacharei, Kichlod HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nara Adon Olam, V'hu Haya, V'hu Hove, V'hu Yeh B'tifara Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa, V'chetzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'hu Echad, V'yein Sheni, L'hamshilo L'achbira Adon Olam, V'li Reishi, V'li Sachlis, V'lo Haoz HaMisra Adon Olam, V'hu Eli, V'chai Gali, V'tzur Gavli V'yetzara Adon Olam, V'hu Nisi, V'manosli, V'naskosi V'yomekra Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa, V'chetzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'yadto, Avkid Ruchi, V'yesi Shan V'yayira Adon Olam, V'him Ruchi,
Kiviyasi, Adonai li v'lo ira, Adon olam, Asher malach, B'terem kol, Yitzir nivra, Li'etz nasach, V'chetzo kol, Azai melech Shimon ikra, Adon olam.
Hey, Yasher Koach, thank you so much, Chazzan Howie, for really, and Max and Ari for a very beautiful service. I was thinking that it's almost a good thing that people didn't know that your sons were going to be with you, because then the shul would be full and we wouldn't be able to socially distance. I think everyone would come to shul if they knew that this was the act. So they'll be able to watch a recording, very special, and I want to thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. You know, it's very wild. You're sitting at home in St. Louis. Tomorrow morning, getting in the car and coming over here. It's about 4 hours. You know, some of you can make it in 3.5, but allow 4. And then tomorrow night, you'll be leading davening in person here. Now, just so those of you know, our second Zoom service, which is Erev Yom Kippur, which is a week from Sunday, that'll be led by a different Chazzan Andy Schultz from his home in New Jersey, because Chazzan Shalowitz is going home in between and he'll be en route during that time. So we'll have Chazzan Schultz lead that one. So if those of you who are not coming to shul and want to hear Chazzan Shalowitz again, we'll send out the link. I recorded this tonight, and we'll just send out the link and you can rewatch it and re-experience it. So thank you so much. Once again, also for those not coming inside in person, if you want to hear shofar blowing only, Sunday at 1 p.m., you know, there's no shofar blowing on Shabbos, just one day of shofar. Sunday at 1 p.m. in the shul parking lot. They'll be over within 10 minutes, so you really got to be there on time. Scott Masick will blow. You see that he has a surgical mask over his shofar, which makes it safer. You know, the droplets don't spread. One benefit to this Zoom service that we don't have in person is we were able to sing. A sad aspect of this year is I'm going to have to ask the congregants in shul. They say you're not supposed to sing very loud because that spreads droplets, right, even with a mask. So I'm going to tell people hum along softly under your mask, but it'll be the Chazzan's show. So this was a warm-up for him. And for our Zoom service, you know, Rosh Hashana is the first day of the year, but this was our service for the last day of the year. Something kind of interesting and unprecedented about that. Anyway, we're actually ahead of schedule, which is pretty amazing, but I'm going to give my sermon now. And you know what, though, actually before that, I'm going to do something you're not supposed to do on Zoom, kind of tempting the fates, but I think I'm going to unmute everyone. And if anyone wants to, Elizabeth is like, oh no. If anyone wants to, let's all say hello to each other. Let's see if the cacophony of noise is tolerable. Hold on a minute. Participants, hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Mute all.
Nice to see you in person.
Yes, you too. Okay. I don't think it's allowing me to. All right. Anyway, so forget that. That's not.
There it is. Ashura Tova.
Oh, good. Yeah. Anyway, okay, good. You can all unmute yourselves if you choose. So anyone who wants to say hello, now is.
No.
Thank you, Maureen. Paul, Maureen, Phyllis, I saw. Who else? Greg and Dory. Don't be shy. Unmute yourself. Hey, Frank. And
L'shana tova.
Yarav. Good to see you.
There we go.
My neighbors, the Kaluvos. Hi.
Those two kids were great, Rabbi.
Weren't they? Yeah.
It almost makes you want to gum.
Yeah, that's what I said. We don't want too many people in shul. We're kind of at capacity in person, but okay. So if that's all the hellos, I'm going to mute everyone again.
I'm going to go have dinner with the family.
Yes, but Chazzan, you've earned your dinner. You are free to go. I look forward to seeing you in person tomorrow.
I look forward to seeing
Thank you so much. Very special service.
Take care. Thank you, bro. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Hope to see everybody tomorrow.
Okay.
What's her name? She said.
So I muted everyone, and now, okay, Elizabeth, Winston is vacuuming in the background. You can't hear it, can you? Good. Okay. If you could, I would ask him to stop. These are modern day high holiday Zoom problems. Never thought I'd have to deal with. Okay. Anyway, Shana Tova to us all. And we need that wish this year more than most, that it should be a good and healthy and blessed new year. A story is told of a pious and eccentric old Jew in Brooklyn. Hold on a moment. Sorry. Okay. The story is told of a pious and eccentric old Jew in Brooklyn, New York at the turn of the 19th century named Shlomi, who was eating breakfast and reading the newspaper when he sees a want ad for a lumberjack in Montana. Shlomi gets up from his table, packs a suitcase, puts on his coat, heads to the central train station, and gets on a train to Montana. The journey takes him 3 days. When he gets off at the train station, it's another 5 miles walking through the snow in the woods to get to the lumberjack office. Pious old Shlomi arrives at the office standing 5 feet tall, not in great shape, his beard covered with snow. He holds up the want ad from the newspaper, and he announces to everyone assembled, "Gentlemen, I just came to tell you that on me you shouldn't rely." Now that is my personal favorite joke of all time. I've never used it in a sermon before. I've wanted to, but I couldn't find a way to incorporate it for the following reason. They say that a good joke doesn't require explanation or analysis, but this one really does. When my father first told this joke at the Shabbos table, my brother and I asked, wait a minute, I don't understand. The guy showed up in person in Montana just to tell them not to consider him for the position? That doesn't make any sense. My father smiled and said, yeah, that's the point. It's absurd. The humor lies in how ridiculous it is. It doesn't make any sense. That's why it's a quintessentially Jewish joke, because Jews have always been good at finding humor and finding meaning in the absurdity of life. That's how else could you survive it? This time we're living in right now is absurd, more than any other time I've lived through. That's how I would describe it. Maybe you've gotten used to wearing a mask everywhere, but I have not. To life being shut down, to not being able to shake hands or embrace each other, to not get within 6 feet of each other. Even this bizarre virtual experience, it's wonderful we could gather on Zoom, but it's not quite the same. And in shul, it won't be the same either, with everyone wearing a mask and sitting apart and the davening being short. So I'm not used to it. And God forbid we should ever get used to this. Not being able to be together. So we don't need to pretend that it's normal. And as Jews, we're good at adapting. As I spent week after week without shul for those terrible weeks that we were completely shut down, I feared that in my isolation, I might turn into Jack Nicholson's character from The Shining. And I warned Becca of a scenario of me chopping down the door shouting, here's Moshe. But in seriousness, in my isolation, I also thought of some serious ideas. I revisited a story from the Talmud that I've always found profound, which began to resonate with me more deeply this year. Story of the 4 who entered Pardes. Talmud in Chagiga says, Ben Zoma, Ben Azai, Elisha ben Avuya, and Rabbi Akiva all entered Pardes, and that's one of those words that's the same in Hebrew as it is in English. Pardes means paradise. What does it mean that they visited paradise? It means they delved into the deepest secrets and mysteries of the Torah. They got a glimpse of heaven. You'd think this would be a blissful experience, but not necessarily so. Not for mere mortals if you aren't ready for it. The Talmud describes it as a largely traumatic experience for 3 out of 4 of them. Ben Azai dropped dead. He couldn't handle it. Ben Zoma went insane. Whatever he saw, he couldn't handle it emotionally. Elisha ben Avuya became a heretic. He lost his faith. He had been amongst the greatest of the sages, and now he couldn't believe in the traditional conception of God. He was spiritually broken. From then on, the rabbis referred to him as Acher, that other one. They couldn't bear to say his name. But Rabbi Akiva yatsa b'shalom. Rabbi Akiva alone emerged in peace. He survived intact mentally, physically, spiritually, while the others could not. Such was the greatness of Rabbi Akiva. Now, why would entering heaven be so traumatic? Rambam describes heaven as a place with no physical activity. There's no eating or drinking or sleeping or dancing. He says, don't think it's a place of feasting. That's what fools and pagans believe. It's only your disembodied spirit existing with the presence of God, with your own soul, and with the truth of the universe in perpetuity. Now, based on this Rambam, some have joked that heaven and hell are the same place. Because if you were wicked, then being present with God and with your own soul would be terribly traumatic. I would describe the largely shut down state of life these past few months as a sort of Pardes. In these weeks in which shul was shut, people would ask me, so being home all day with your wife and kids, is that heaven or hell? And my answer was yes, it's both. It's a little bit of both. The state of Israel is going into lockdown now as we speak. The next 3 weeks, my parents, my brother, my grandmother, so many other relatives and friends will be limited to within 500 meters of their home. Over here, we're not so shut down anymore, but life still isn't normal. And I shudder to reflect on all those who are suffering with mental health issues these past few months. If you think of the different ways that people are reacting to this new reality, it closely follows the four who entered Pardes. Ben Azai died. The obvious connection is to the people who have actually died from this horrible plague. Almost 200,000 in America and almost 1 million globally. It's hard to fathom. But I think we can also understand the fate of Ben Azai metaphorically. To die when entering Pardes can mean to become broken as a person. You think of the waves of clinical depression, the quiet despair that so many are suffering right now. Elderly people in care facilities who haven't been allowed to have visitors in months. Parents who are trying to work from home while watching their kids. Ben Zoma went insane. And I think of all those whose anxieties are off the charts right now, who may be close to nervous breakdown. We like to joke, oh, I'm just going nuts these past few months. But sadly, for many, it's not really a joke. So many people are not mentally okay right now. Acher, Elisha ben Avuya, became a heretic. And I have no doubt that many people have lost their faith in God during this pandemic, wondering how a just God can allow such things to happen. We can also understand the loss of faith in a broader and metaphorical sense. You think of all the people who have lost faith in government, in society, in institutions, in each other. But Rabbi Akiva Yatsa B'Shalom, he left in peace. 2 pithy words. 1 out of 4 survived, the great Rabbi Akiva. Now, it's only this year when revisiting this story that I thought, isn't that sort of anticlimactic? So he left in peace, but that's it. If I were writing this story, so to speak, I would have written the following scene. Rabbi Akiva emerged levitating with his face glowing and a halo around his head with the angelic choir singing and people bowing down before him as he imparted the insights that he gleaned from that mystical place. But no, that's not what happened. The truth is more beautiful and simple than my fanciful imagination. Rabbi Akiva survived in the crucial way that the other 3 couldn't, physically, mentally, and spiritually, and that's enough. That's a miracle. That's an authentic miracle. There are many people right now championing the notion that we need to use this time to better ourselves in ways that we never did before, to master a hobby or to fix up our home or to read a book that's been on our list, to work out and get stronger, whatever it might be. Corona goals. We have so much more time on our hands, so we can't go anywhere, so why not achieve such goals? On a Zoom meeting of rabbis a few weeks ago, we had a sort of group therapy session about what we've been struggling with. One friend and colleague of mine mentioned how he sees so many people on his Facebook feed reveling in their study of Daf Yomi, the regimen of learning a daily page of Talmud. This is a serious undertaking. It entails at least an hour commitment every day. And this made him feel guilty as a rabbi because he hasn't been achieving such goals the past few weeks. He's just struggling to stay afloat. Now, Daf Yomi is currently in tractate Eruvin, which is about Eruv. We have an Eruv in our community, a wire that goes around so you can carry on Shabbos. And this rabbi friend of mine lamented and wailed, if I see one more person post on social media about how much they're enjoying studying Eruvin, I'm going to whip them in the head with an Eruv wire. And a Zoom room full of rabbis was laughing and crying along with him because we could all relate. And that's when I realized that our goal for this pandemic does not need to be loftier than a regular year, but on the contrary, should actually be simpler. My wish for us all is simply Sheneitzei b'shalom, may we exit in peace, like Rabbi Akiva, b'shalom, intact, physically, mentally, spiritually. That's hard enough, and that's miraculous enough. Shlomi, the pious old Jew of my joke who responded to the want ad in Montana, it's funny in part because his world is so small. Montana might as well be Mars for him. And that's what makes it so funny. How quaint and simple a life that people like him led. Well, we've all been forced into smaller worlds these past few months, spending more time forced to just be present with ourselves, with our own soul, without distractions. That experience can be blissful in small doses, but it can also be traumatic. My desired goals for us are therefore simple. May we strive to stay safe physically, to stay sane mentally, to stay serene spiritually, to keep our faith in God and in others. Sheneitzei b'shalom, may we exit in peace, so that by next year we can recommit with renewed strength and energy to better ourselves, and life, please God, will be normal again, to better ourselves, our families, and our communities. And with that, I wish everyone a Shana Tova. It should be a good year, a safe year, and a healthy year. We need that blessing this year more than any other year.
That's a chord. That's a chord.
Thank you. And That really concludes the service. Maybe once again, you can unmute and just quickly say, Shana Tova, hello, whatever you're moved to say.
Shana Tova, everyone.
Shana Tova.
Happy New Year.
Shana
Tova.
Hello, everyone.
Shana Tova. Thank you,
remember-
Rabbi.
Rabbi.
Yes.
Shana Tova.
Shana
Hi, Rabbi.
Tova. Oh, hello. Was I at his bris? Right?
You were. It was your first bris here.
Wow. Yes. 2 years ago when I first got here. That's amazing.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. He just turned 2.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay.
Happy
So,
New Year.
Happy New Year. Now, everyone remember, next Zoom service, Sunday, a week from Sunday, 1:40 p.m. to 4. 1:40 p.m. to 4 p.m. We'll have Kol
I'll
Nidre,
be
we'll
there.
have Easter, all the highlights of Yom Kippur. Okay.
Our best to Becca and the boys.
Will do. Okay. Take care, everyone.